Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to For StarCraft 2 Strategy, your #1 location for step-by-step strategy and tutorial videos. Today we're going to be taking a look at a Terran strategy. We're going to be looking at getting fast early Reapers with the speed upgrade and kind of massing them to punish our Zerg opponent for going for that fast expansion and thusly neglecting gas. Basically in this particular replay, which is between our Zerg opponent here is Liquid Heypro and our Terran player here is AJTLS, Agtlus, however you would pronounce that. In this game, the Zerg opponent does go for that fast expansion, putting up that expansion very quickly, that second hatchery at his natural, and in doing so, he obviously doesn't have the resources to get that quick extractor to get Vespian gas. Now, neglecting to get that early game Vespian gas is going to mean that he's not going to be able to get that speed upgrade very quickly, and since he can't get that Zergling speed upgrade, our Reapers become very, very effective. Our Reapers can basically kite them around all day and just do massive amounts of damage. So again, we're going to be getting those fast Reapers. We're going to be punishing our Zerg opponent for going for that fast expansion. But basically what we're doing here, as far as we start off, we're getting just a basic standard opening as Terran. We're getting that 10 supply depot. We're going to follow that up with a 12 barracks, and then of course we're going to follow that up by getting a refinery, which should be coming up shortly. I'm actually going to put up the production tab here. So again, this is going to be a very effective strategy once we go ahead and scout that our Zerg opponent is getting that fast hatchery, getting that fast expansion. And what we're going to see here, and this is something I want to make note of, as you play over time, and as you get used to the game and you get used to understanding strategies and different play styles that your opponents can be getting, you'll begin to get a sense, called game sense even. Ooh, fancy. You'll begin to get a sense of certain timings that players should have certain things. Now, at this point in the game, looking at this, what we see here, we're at 15 supply, very early in the game. We moved in to try to take a look and scout our opponent's base, and we saw he's got a hatchery already. Now, the fact that he has this hatchery already, what that tells us is there's no way he has enough resources to also already have an extractor up to him to be saturating that. In order to get a hatchery that fast, he had to have just been going straight for mineral gathering, and he even had to delay his spawning pool. As you can see, his spawning pool isn't even up yet, and we already have our first Reaper on the way. But we didn't go straight for that first Reaper. Basically what we did was we moved in, we saw that really fast expansion, and with the tech lab here on our barracks, we went ahead and we started building that Reaper. We may have gotten a Reaper or two in seeing that, without seeing that rather. We may have gotten a Reaper or two just to do some harass, but now that we know that he is indeed going for this fast expansion, we're going to decide, okay, we're going to push out strongly with Reapers. In fact, that's when we make the decision to go ahead and research this Nitro Pack to get increased Reaper speed. Now, if we didn't see that early expansion, we would have moved out with the Reaper just to do a little bit of early game harass, but since we saw that, and again, since we know he's going to be so far behind in the Vespian, in fact, he's just getting up the extractor now, so obviously he's nowhere near having the metabolic boost upgrade, and it's just going to be at this point about microing, about picking off these units, because there's not going to be much the Zerglings are going to be able to do. They won't be able to catch those Reapers. This is going to be very micro intensive. You're going to really need to make sure you stay on top of keeping your Reapers alive, because they are very fragile. If they get surrounded by the Zerglings, they'll die. But again, with proper micro, by pulling them back and by not letting them get in range of these Zerglings, you're going to be able to just do massive damage until they get that speed upgrade. So we're going to move up here. We're going to be picking off some of these Zerglings, picking off the Queen as well. But taking a look back at our base, as you can see, the Nitro Packs are just about finished. We have more Reapers coming out, and we are going ahead and getting that expansion. Now, we feel safe in doing that because, again, we saw that fast expansion. We know that they're not going to have much, and while doing this Reaper harassment, they're going to kind of be forced to stay in their base and deal with it. Otherwise, they're going to take a huge economy hit once we get to this line and start picking off drones. So we're basically what we're going to be doing is we're just going to keep pumping out barracks, we're going to keep attaching tech labs and getting more Reapers, and we're going to take full advantage of this window of opportunity that we have up until the point that he gets a speed upgrade. Now, once he gets that Zergling speed upgrade, or the metabolic boost finishes, then we're going to want to transition into something else. But again, up until that point, this is going to be very, very strong. And in fact, in this particular replay, we end up doing so much damage with these Reapers that he's forced to call a good game. It just takes too much of an economic hit and is unable to handle it. So still producing more Reapers. We do ahead and we are going ahead and having them rallied to right outside of the base, so that as soon as they pop out, we can take advantage of them, pick them up, grab them here, and bring them on up to join the rest of the party, basically, and join in the fun that is harassing these queens. As you can see with the speed upgrade, we are able to move up, shoot the queens, and then pull out before they're able to engage, even when they're on the creep. It just takes a little bit of proper micro. You can see shoot, pull back, shoot, pull back. That's basically what you're going to be doing this entire time. And you may be thinking at this point, well, we really haven't hit much of his mineral lines. Have we really done that much damage to him? Yes, we haven't hit his mineral lines, but in killing off all of these Zerglings that he's forced to make to help defend his base, he really has no choice but to make these Zerglings. He could make more queens, but they take forever to build, and by the time enough came out, we would have just done too much damage to him. So he's forced to make these Zerglings, and they're basically wasted resources, because again, until they get that speed upgrade, they're not going to touch your Reapers as long as you micro them. And he's basically just dumping resources into defending his base, but just losing everything as a result. He's just losing all these Zerglings. Every single Zergling you kill, 25 minerals gone, completely wasted for the Zerg player. And that's why this is very effective. That's why they take an economic hit. Even though we hadn't been killing their drones, they're still losing a lot of income. So taking another look back at our base, as you can see, we're keeping up with this the barracks production. We're finally starting to get our natural expansion saturated. Now he is deciding to move out at this point because he finally has that speed upgrade, and we do see that he's moving out. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull our Reapers back. Now this is where things can get a little bit dangerous, again, because those Speedlings can get us around on the Reapers. So we just want to make sure we get in proper positioning and we don't let them fully surround us. We want to make sure whenever they start to pull close that we pull back. So as you can see, we're going to pull up and engage, and we're just trying to keep them away from us, trying to keep a little bit of a distance, and we definitely, the last thing we want is to let them wrap around us. As long as you can avoid that from happening, then you should be in a pretty good position. And now that this counterattack of his has failed, that is pretty much the end of the game. Taking a look back at his base, as you saw, we took out a lot of his drones. This is all he has mining right now, and he does go ahead and call it a game. So again, guys, this has just been like a mass Reaper strategy as a response to your Zerg opponent going for that fast expansion and neglecting gas. Avoiding that gas really sets them behind, and it really makes it very tough for them to deal with Reapers as long as you micro them properly. So going over that build order, we started off with that 10 supply depot. Followed it up with the 12 barracks, followed by the refinery. We got that scouting information. We saw that super early hatchery, and as a response, we went ahead and with our tech lab on our barracks here, we started pumping out Reapers. We got the Nitro Pack upgrade, and still continued to make those Reapers because they're going to stay, they're going to remain effective up until the point the Zerglings get that speed upgrade. So again, guys, this has been for StarCraft 2 Strategy, your #1 location for step-by-step strategy and tutorial videos. If you like what we're doing here and you like what you see, please do subscribe to our channel. Keep watching and keep owning, guys.